Hey guys, it's me, and today I want to talk about the video coming out of New York City. You guys know the one. Involves a black Range Rover and a bunch of sport biker, they weren't all sport bikes, stunters on various types of motorcycles. For those of you that haven't seen the video, I'm going to try and put a link down in the description, but the video's making the rounds, and the media has kind of split in half as far as what they think happened and the spin they're putting on it. You've got two sides. You've got the side that wants to make bikers out like they're bad guys, like the guy was just some innocent driver out on a Sunday stroll with his wife and kid, and a bunch of hard-ass bikers tried to kill him. And then you've got the other half of the story, which is being portrayed by bikers, that this guy gunned down innocent bikers who were out enjoying a Sunday ride. Obviously, I try to remain unbiased as far as the whole thing goes, but I ride a motorcycle, so I know what it's like to be hit by a car. And as unfortunate as the situation is, both parties were wrong in the video. Watch the video. I will try and put a link down in the bottom. I think the title for the video is like GoPro 2009 or something. I forget the exact number designation. You'll see it down there. But if you watch the video, a rider cuts off the Range Rover, brakes in front of him. He bumps the guy. Now, I have ridden with a pack of bikes, and I sure as hell would not pull over to exchange info in the middle of a pack of bikes like that. These guys instantly react by bashing on his car, trying to pull him out. The dude panicked, and for those of you who aren't paying attention to the actual interviews, the guy in the Range Rover had his wife and kid in the car with him. You can't expect a guy to knowingly jump out in front of a crowd of bikers and try and confront these guys on an accident when he's got his wife and kid to consider. That does not condone him running people over. It doesn't. I'm sorry. Homeboy was wrong too. The latest news reports are saying that one guy was killed and another is in the hospital, paralyzed from the waist down from that initial incident. That's not cool, man. It's not. And my prayers go out to Jay Measy, I believe his name is the guy in a coma. He's medically induced coma while they try and repair the damage done from the accident. I feel for that guy, because I've been hit by a car, and I survived. I was very lucky, but I can feel for his family and understand what he's going through. Trauma. Life-changing trauma as a result of the incident. That being said, the bikers chased this guy in the Range Rover. They cornered him, stopped his car, tried to pull him out, and he took off again. Watch the video, it's there. Then he finally gets caught up in some traffic, and a homeboy takes his helmet off and smashes the driver's window. Not cool. Not cool. I can understand being pissed off. I can understand wanting to smash some glass. But after the camera cuts off, bikers pulled that man out of his car, beat him to within an inch of his life, and cut him and stabbed him with knives while his wife and kid watched. As a result of an accident. Because pack mentality took over, and all these bikers wanted to show off and be hard for their boys while they were on their ride. Not cool. Now, I've seen a few people posting videos on YouTube and their responses with the link and everything. Nickname from No Squidding. Dude, I'm going to give you a shout out because you try to remain unbiased, and you're pointing out that both sides had a problem, that both sides reacted wrong in the situation. And I totally agree with that. There's been a few other moto vloggers, Live Free or Die, myself, Defobra, they basically just extend prayers to both sides, both parties, because wrongs and everybody screwed up in that situation, and two wrongs don't make a right. Violence does not beget violence. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. And it's a shame to see bikers portrayed in that kind of light, because nobody ever posts videos on YouTube that get 1 million hits of a charity ride, or, you know, somebody helping an old lady cross the street. Very rarely do people get recognition for the good things they do as motorcyclists. But then you see something like this where a bunch of bikers pull a guy out of his car over an accident, and it makes everybody look bad. You got guys rocking cuts, doing stunts on public roadways in the middle of the day, and all homeboy was trying to do was drive around with his wife and kid. He wasn't out to hit these guys. He wasn't biased against motorcycles, but watch the video. Look at these guys swerving in and out of lanes, cutting people off, doing stunts on the street. That is not the way it's done. It's not the way bikers should conduct themselves. I've been on plenty of group rides. Just came back from a camp out this weekend with 350 bikes there, and nobody got hurt. Nobody. I've been on countless poker rides and breast cancer runs and toy runs with hundreds upon hundreds of motorcycles, and nobody ever has anything like this happen. So you have to ask yourself, what went wrong? What went wrong? Because there's got to be somebody there with a level head that can just stay the course. All those bikers, and nobody stopped to say, hey, you know what? Maybe homeboy was panicking. Let's just follow him, get his license plate number, and call the cops. No. Of course not. So there's a dude laying on the freeway, dying because he got run over by a friggin' car, and nobody had the capacity for reason. I don't care if this video gets 1 million negative comments about people hating on me because of my opinion. Quite frankly, I don't give two shits about YouTube comments. I really don't. But it is my personal opinion that both parties were wrong. And it's time for us as bikers, as riders, as motorcyclists, as enthusiasts to stand up and say, look, I'm sorry that these guys were wrong, but they don't represent all of us. They don't. I'm not a stunter. I'm not a badass. I don't go around beating people up. I don't go around stabbing folks. And it's a travesty that in this instance, violence begat violence, and it starts this avalanche effect where people just keep getting hurt. I mean, I've seen the photographs of Jay, this guy from New York that got run over, and he's paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of his life. He's never going to walk again. And rather than recognize the loss, people want to get pissed off. People want to get angry. Dude got his comeuppance. He got pulled out of his car and stabbed in front of his kid. And nobody wants to recognize that. Nobody. Nobody's talking about how homeboy had to go to the hospital and get stitches because somebody stuck steel into him over an accident. So, I think it's time for us as riders to recognize that there are people among us in our culture that are making us look bad. It's time for us to take a step back and start reacting with reason. Because piling wrongs on top of wrongs is not okay. And my heart and prayers go out to everybody involved in the accident. I feel for the family that lost a rider, because that's hard. But I also feel for that family in that Range Rover. I mean, they had no idea that it was going to happen to them. You know what I mean? So, that's my thoughts on it. If you guys don't agree, hit the comment section. Go ahead, light me up, flame me. I don't give a shit. But if you agree, maybe it's time we started thinking about what it is we're doing on the road. You know what I mean? Because as riders, and especially as club members, it's my cut back there. As club members, when you put a patch on your back, you represent not only yourself, but your entire club and every single other biker out there. And you have to consider that when you ride. You have to consider that when you decide to smash somebody's window. You have to consider that when you take your hands and put them on someone else. So, I will see you guys on the next one.